Hi, greetings. This is Patrick from Have Cheetah Will View, and we're here for another edition of Dollar Theater. Dollar Theater is an ongoing series that our good friend Hobbs Horror has started, and that is where we get movies um, that we've gotten for $1.25 or less, and we review and talk about them. So this week, decided to do little something different, and might catch some people by surprise, which I hope it does. But so many of you guys know that I'm a massive IFC fan, and I do a lot of IFC movies. I have like in my collection, I have like 230, 240. But I thought I'd talk about one of them that this is probably the only way I could do this, and that is Dollar Theater. And today we'll talk about 2015's Jenny's Wedding. Jenny's Wedding stars has a great cast to it. It's Katherine Heigl, Tom Wilkinson, Linda Edmond, Alexis Bledel, and Grace Gummer. The story is about a late twenties working professional woman named Jenny, and she's living with her partner Kitty, played by Alexis Bledel, and they want to get married. Um, and for the most part, most of their circle knows that they are a couple. But Jenny's family does not know that she is gay, and she has not told them yet. And she has kept them off their toes by telling them about all these different guys that she's seen, but it never seems to be working out. None of them ever make it to the door, to the family's home. No one ever meets any of her boyfriends because they always seem to implode. Where in actuality, is that she just hasn't worked. She hasn't worked up the courage yet to talk to her parents about it. But now they're getting married, and so now it has to be the time for them to come out because she wants her family to be involved in the wedding. She wants her sister to be her bridesmaid. She wants her mom to be a part of it. To go shopping with her dress. Go shopping with her for her dress. She wants her dad to walk her down the aisle. Traditional wedding. Um, so Jenny goes over to the family house on her folks' anniversary, and she tells them. She tells her mom that she is a lesbian, and her mom reacts like she's just like, do you have to go out there? Don't Can you not tell everybody that you're gay? Um, it's not the reaction she was looking for, but was the reaction she was expecting it, but hoping it wouldn't happen. So basically, her family, her sister, and her dad, um, they all react really negatively. Only her brother Michael is positive about it. In fact, he tells her like, You've been gay since you're in high school. I'm your brother. I know these things." And but for the rest of the family, it's rough. Mom and dad really struggle with it, um, and the older sister or the youngest sister, Anne is she's married. She's married, has two kids, but her marriage is a shambles, uh, and so they each have their own ways of reacting to it. And they pretty much react to it the way that Jenny was afraid of. Um, and so it causes the family a lot of stress and a lot of heartache because they just don't know how to adapt. Um, so Jenny does try. She keeps talking to her mom, and she says, "This is who I am. This is what I am." And then it comes down to like, you guys are pushing me away. If you're gonna push me away, that's your choice. Um, and her dad gets into it with her at a funeral of a friend, and she Jenny blows up, rightfully so, by the way. And she basically tells her dad, "Listen, it's up to you. If you don't, I'm done living a lie. I'm done living a lie. I'm not going to hide myself for you. I'm not going to hide myself for anybody. I'm going to be who I am. And if you can accept that, that's awesome. But if you can't, then basically fuck off." Um, And more power to you, Jenny. Um, um, and and so each member of the family, except for the brother, they have to figure it out. They have to figure it out. Like, okay, why is this affecting me? But it's not really about them at all. It's all about Jenny. This is her life. This is her choice that she made. This is the person she wants to marry. Um, her little sister doesn't understand that until she sees Jenny and Kitty out there shopping for a dress, and then she realizes that her sister is gay, and she doesn't know how to handle that either. Initially, she tries to make it all about her and how Jenny's always trying to one up her, and and what can you do against that sort of ignorance, right? Um, but when the mom overhears two people hears two of her friends gossiping about her daughter, it's like a light goes on. It's like Mama Bear has emerged from the den, and she just basically goes up there and blows up two of the so-called friends at the time, and she says, who cares what she is? Who cares? She's my daughter, and I love her. And so, and she attempts to talk to her husband, and her husband has shut all the way down. But mom's the first one that comes around to it, and then Anne, she realizes that who is she to criticize anybody about anything when she's stuck in a really bad rut herself. So she decides that what, if Jenny's going to be brave enough to take a step forward into a new world, I can do the same thing. I can do this, and so she kicks out her husband, and she says, I'm gonna be starting living for myself. Um, and so Jenny and her dad, they still haven't talked, and until the wife says, Jenny's mom says, we've done everything together in our years of marriage, 36 years. We've always done it together. But I wanted to go to this wedding by myself. If you don't want to go, if you don't want to support our daughter, so Dad has a real heart to heart with it, and with himself, and he says, it really wasn't the fact that you were gay that really hurt me. What really hurt me was the fact when you told me that if you would be happy to have me out of your life. And of course, when Jenny said that, she was speaking from heartache and frustration by herself. It's like, why is everybody, why is first you guys all want me to get married to a guy. Now when I do find a partner and I want to get married, all of a sudden it's like, don't tell anybody. We'll keep that on the down low. So of course Jenny has every right to blow up at her parents. But they do end up making up, and then they have a beautiful wedding, and the movie does end on an optimistic note. So I got to tell you, I know that Katherine Heigl is not a very popular actress. I mean, it seems like every poll that you see that her name always seems to be on the bottom of it because her off the screen attitude. She's got that reputation as being very difficult to work with and what have you. But you know what? I've seen several of her movies. I've seen her act in several of her movies, and you know what? She's a good actress. I really enjoy. And that's the reason why I got this movie when I saw it. When I saw the name, when I saw her on Jenny's Wedding, that's the reason. That's what attracted me to it. She does a stellar job here. This is a very moving. This is a very moving movie. And it's this romance, comedy drama, and it's like there's not that much comedy here. And in rewatching this, and knowing that we're probably on the verge of seeing gay rights being, either revoked or rolled back, and the protections that we've had for them, for people in the gay community, those protections are probably hanging by a thin wire. And before you look at this movie, you go like, this is from a different time. even though it was only 10 years ago, it's a different time. And then you watch it and you realize it's not so much different as you think. Um, it's a beautifully written story, and the cast is great. Um, my only quibble, it's beautifully filmed. It's in Cleveland, Ohio. My only problem was there wasn't enough interaction between with Kitty and Jenny. I wish there could have been more interaction with them. I wish we would have seen more of Alexis Bledel. She's very cute in this movie, but she's really not given a whole lot to do. But otherwise, the family itself, the dynamic of the family is done very, very well. And you can see the mom and dad are from a different time. The dad works as he works as a firefighter, and he's got old school ways and thoughts, and he just actually sort of need time to comprehend and to adjust to what he's heard. Um, it's not an excuse for his behavior. I mean, he should have been able to talk to his daughter about anything, because they established that those two do talk quite a bit. And it's a little bit surprising because you don't expect that the father to be the one that was the most stubborn. You expected it to be the mom, and it was the dad. And that was a little bit of a surprise. And then when she basically, told him to jump off the cliff, I could see him being really hurt by that. But I could also see, not the same situation, but I've been in this situation where I've had to talk to a parent who was didn't see things, that were narrow-minded, and I saw myself in Jenny's shoes, basically telling the person to fuck off, and because they want everything their own way and not willing to be open-minded enough to accept other ideas, other people. But it does work out. Mom does come around. Dad comes around, and turns out to be a very very the last 10 minutes is really really good, and I love the ending too. The ending's really really generous, really sweet. All right, that is Jenny's Wedding. I highly recommend this. You can probably get this at Amazon or eBay. You have to probably look for it a little bit. This is a 10-year-old movie, but this is a corker. I really liked it. I really liked it a lot. And like I said, Katherine Heigl looks absolutely great in this movie. She carries the emotion well. Everything comes from the heart. It's a really fine performance, not only by her but the entire cast. All right. It features a little bit of behind the scenes, talking about the making of the movie, and it has the trailer. But otherwise, that's it for this week of Dollar Theater. And thank you for watching. And if you have a comment, I'd like to hear about it. If you've ever seen this movie, I'd like to hear about that as well. And we'll be back next week with another one. Take care and stay safe, stay warm. Peace.